Welcome back. Jerry Franklin Poe coming at you another episode of the 31 Days of Sharing. And one of the things I've been focused on today is recommending books to you. Yes, right, recommending books. What are you reading? I know what I'm reading, but what are you reading? In the comments, share with me what are some of the books that you've been reading this year, this month, this week. We always hear the phrase that leaders are readers, but I expand it and I say that the more you learn, the more you earn, because you can learn by reading, you can learn by listening. A lot of books that I listen to on Audible, I also get the physical copy, and I have the book to read and I have the audible version to listen to. So another classic I want to bring to you is a classic book. For those who've been watching the series the whole entire time, I have mentioned that I like to know where things originated. I like to research stuff to find out, where did it come from? Where did this idea come from? Where did this notion come from? And you hear things being taught about subconscious programming, self-image, how you see the world is based on how you see yourself. The fact that, the imagined reality, the brain can't tell a difference between imagined reality and actual reality, the power of visualization. Like, where did these things come from? Well, there's a book. This is a classic book written by a guy named Maxwell Maltz. That's right, Maxwell Maltz. Have you heard of this book? It's called Psycho-Cybernetics. This book was published in the 1960s. So that means it's, 60 years old, right? 2020, 1960s. That's 60 years old. A lot of what you hear people saying today, those ideas were based on things that were already written years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So one of my habits is to find out, where did the idea, where did the concept originate? And this book is where you start to see the original ideas about how to change your self-image, about how to change how you see yourself, how to reprogram your subconscious mind, how to use visualization as a way to train yourself to see a different future in your life, a different future in your business, a different future for yourself. All that came from this. Maxwell Maltz was, I believe, a doctor. Yeah, he was a doctor, and they were performing surgery on people, like plastic surgery. And when people were finished the surgery, they still saw themselves the other way. Like, they didn't see the changes. They had something was done to fix their face, but they still saw themselves the way they were before, because in their mind, their mental self-image was still the old person. Even though on the outside they had changed, the inside was still the same. So they still saw themselves the way they were. And he was just curious about, why is it that people go through these changes? Physically, they change, but they still see themselves. It took people weeks and sometimes even months to start to see themselves in the mirror differently than how they saw themselves before. And that's what led to him writing this book. So this book was helpful. Now, you noticed this, you probably already guessed it. This is not one of those books where I read cover to cover. This is over 200, almost 300 pages, about close to 300 pages, 282 pages or so. So this is another one of those books where I have it physical copy, and I also have it on Audible. And there's actually a new updated version. There's a new Psycho-Cybernetics. I got the original version, and I have the new version, just to see the differences between the two. Like, sometimes things get updated over time because, technology changes, insights change, people find new revelations from a scientific perspective, especially when it comes to psychology. Their thinking changes. So this book has been extremely helpful. It was helpful for me in terms of looking at ways to help change the way I saw myself, my self-image, because your success in life cannot go any higher than how you see yourself. What you achieve in life won't go any higher than how you see yourself. And this book right here was one of the key things or catalysts that I found. One of my mentors recommended this to me close to 20 years ago. And a lot of what he taught was based off of this book in terms of altering your beliefs and your subconscious programming in order to change the results you experience in your life. So this is another one of those classics, just like How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich. This is another a classic book that personally I believe everyone should be aware of, everyone should have in their library, whether you get it on an Audible version, whether you get the physical version, doesn't matter how you get the information. The key is to learn the stuff and to do something with it. Learn, do, and then you'll experience the results, right? So my day of sharing for you has been complete because I gave you 2 books today. If you caught the earlier video, you know what book that was. It's about asking powerful questions. The right questions lead to the right answers. If you didn't see that video, I would suggest you go back, catch the replay because you don't want to miss any of these recommendations. I'm telling you, I have books for days. It's just a matter of which one do I want to pull out to share with you. I started collecting all these books when I was in my early 20s, like around 20, 21 years old. So the more you learn, the more you earn. Today, I wanted to share with you Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz, the imagined reality. The brain cannot tell the difference between imagined reality and real reality. So they did experiments where they were visualizing stuff and people actually practicing shooting a basketball. And the same people who visualized themselves shooting the basketball or actually physically practicing shooting the basketball, when it came time to test out the results to see, okay, well, is there improvement in how well they can make a foul shot? The results would match up. That people who just visualized themselves shooting the basketball were able to make as many shots as those who actually practice. This is interesting stuff. Now you think about it. People have been using this concept for a long time. When they traveled to the moon, they had to visualize what they were going to do because they weren't actually going to be flying to the moon to practice. There was no practice moon landing and no one had been to the moon before. So NASA used a lot of these concepts with the astronauts to help them prepare for those first flights into space. So you want to make sure that you're using these same habits, these same strategies, these same principles for your life, for your business, for your family. And these are the things I also introduced to my daughters. Like, why should a person wait until they're an adult to know about the power of visualization and how they can change the way they see themselves and their self-image and how to program their subconscious mind the right way? I didn't find out about this book until I was in my 20s, but now that I know, I pass it on to my children as well. So folks, share this video out, like the video. Great content coming to you for the whole month of December, 31 days of sharing. Thank you all for following me in the journey. We're almost complete. We're staying strong every day. 2 videos, 11 a.m., 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until next time, my friends, remember to be valiant, be vigilant, and be victorious.